Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think let's put TV here and put also Xbox.
Okay, good evening, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Right. Could you people turn on your cameras so that I could see your faces, please? I see Mr. Vasquez, Mr. Yegorov, and Arslan. Okay. So Mr. Olmagut has, yeah. Okay, Dmitry. Okay. All right. Okay. So shall we start? So this is your, hi everybody. This is your, I'm sorry. This is your English class for your PhD. According to the Russian regulation, every PhD student has to do the English class, and this is the first class of that English that we're going to do during the semester. Here's the plan for today. We're going to start with the syllabus. Okay, we'll take a look at the syllabus, and I will tell you what we're going to do during the semester. Then I will answer any questions that you might have. Then we'll talk about the candidate exam that you will have to take next year. We'll do that, and in the end we'll talk about IEEE referencing style, and that will be all for today. So that's the plan. My name is Dr. Gelvanovsky. I'm a PhD in linguistics. I'm of the English division, and I'm going to be your professor during this semester for your PhD English studies. We're going to basically concentrate on academic communication. We're going to talk about how to effectively write various types of academic texts. And we're going to also talk about effective presentations and how to present your research and your different findings. So before I continue, let me send you a link to the syllabus. Right, I'm sending the link to the syllabus to the Zoom chat. So why don't you follow the link and open up the syllabus, and we're going to discuss that. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we'll do this syllabus. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. Right. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to meet twice a week. It'll be 2 90-minute classes a week. Okay, and we are going to, as I said, we're going to concentrate on academic communication. The topics that we're going to cover, they stem from your PhD exam, from your PhD English exam. Now, for your PhD English exam, you'll have to write a research proposal. That will be part 1 of your future PhD English exam, and you will also have to present present your research. Therefore, the two biggest parts of this class are going to be writing a research essay, which is going to be 40% of your grade, and doing the research presentation. Okay, delivering the research presentation, which is going to be another 25% of your grade. So for your research, you will have to write a 5-paragraph essay on the research topic of your choice. Okay, and you will have to follow certain rules in terms of academic writing style. You're supposed to stick to certain rules of effectiveness, which we're going to discuss. Right, there is, okay, Karam cannot hear anything. How about you guys? Can you hear me? If you can, write a yes.
Yes.
Okay, please write a yes, everybody who can hear me, write a yes into the chat, okay? Right, okay. Okay, Karam, it's probably something with your settings, because I believe you're the only person who's experiencing the trouble. Okay, Nur Sultan does not have access to course in Moodle. Okay, I will send this syllabus to the Telegram group. All right. So let me send the syllabus to the Telegram group now, so that everybody will have the access to the syllabus. Right. Okay, anyway, I'm sending the syllabus to the Telegram group. If you don't have access to Moodle, you can go to your Telegram group and open the syllabus from there. Right. Okay. Anyway, this session is being recorded, and I will send the recording to you after the class. So even if you don't have, I mean, if you don't have the sound right now, you will be able to watch it later. Anyway, let's go back to the course. As I said, there will be two major aspects to this course. The first one is a research essay, which is 40% of your grade, and the research essay is a 5-paragraph essay on the research of your choice. So basically, I believe everybody by now have some idea as to what you're going to research. Okay, now you will have to write a little essay following a certain structure, which we'll talk about, and you will have to stick to a certain referencing style, which is going to be IEEE referencing style, and you will also have to pay special attention to the academic style, to the effective academic writing style, which basically means that your text will have to be easily readable and rather good in terms of language too. Okay, Karam still has troubles hearing me. Does anybody else have this trouble? Okay, Karam seems to be the only one. Okay. Yeah, Karam, they'll be wise to try to rejoin. Anyway, as I said, this session is being recorded, and okay. Karam, you might want to go to the Telegram group. Nur Sultan is offering the solution there. Yeah, as I said, this session is recorded.
Пока-пока.
Okay? All right. Yeah, let me continue. Right, about referencing. Your essay your essays have to have the reference list, and those references, they have to be as per IEEE referencing style, which, if you're not familiar with which, we're going to discuss it today. So this is about your research essay. This is like the biggest assignment, the most important assignment. You will have tutorials, and we'll talk about the elements of this assignment. So we'll talk about how to write introduction to the essay. We'll talk about how to provide your arguments, how to support your arguments, and how to write conclusion. And you will have individual tutorials on writing that essay. So this is about the essay. Now, the second biggest part of your grade is going to come from your research presentation. The research presentation is basically going to simulate the conference procedure. Okay, I got a question from Valeria. How long should the essay be? It's I'm not going to give you the limit in words, all right? Because we have a parameter of effective writing, which is called conciseness. So your essay has to be concise, rather short as possible, but there are strict requirements in terms of structure. So there is a certain structure which you will have to follow, okay? So if we speak in paragraphs, I could say that the essay should be 5 paragraphs long, but we'll talk about that in more details once we get to the essays. Okay, cool. Now, any other questions on the essay? You can type or you can use your voice. All right, now presentation. So the research presentation, as I said, is simulating a conference presentation. So for the presentation, you will have to present the results the opinion that you describe in your research essay. Question from Emmanuel: should the essay be based on your research topic? Yes, the essay should be based on your research topic. It's rather well, it's very flexible, actually. So if you feel that you do not have a very, very narrow topic for your research, you can go broader, okay? And you can write like a review on your research area, something like that. Emmanuel, did that answer your question? Okay, cool. So back to presentation. Right, so for your research presentation, you will have to present the opinion that you describe in your research essay, okay? And you will have to do that in an effective way, okay? You'll have to do that, once again, following specific rules in terms of public speaking and in terms of your presentation design, in terms of the slide design, okay? And we'll also talk about those. So this is the research presentation. Now the third assignment, if I may say, will be the quizzes. One of the purpose of this course is for you to increase your academic vocabulary And certain topics have been selected for you to learn or revise, okay? And those topics will help you speak about your argument in an essay and support your argument and speak about your research and speak about like different phrases for your presentation and transition phrases and stuff like that, okay? So all in all, there will be 17 blocks of vocabulary, 17 vocabulary blocks, okay? For every block, there will be one glossary, okay? So you'll get that glossary, you will learn the phrases and words from the glossary, you will do the exercises, the vocabulary exercises on a glossary, okay? And the next class, you will take a 10-minute quiz on the glossary that you've learned the vocabulary from and that you did your exercises from, okay? So those quizzes will be 10 minutes and they will be given through Google Forms and they will be given in the beginning of the class. And it's quite important for you to know that there will be no retakes on those academic vocabulary quizzes. Now, if you miss those, well, you will not be able to retake the quiz. Now, those quizzes will be 15% of your grade. Now, the next part of your grade will be 10%, and it will be from timely submission of different assignments for the course. Now, you will get certain deadlines for your research essay draft and for parts of your research essay and for presentations and for exercises on academic vocabulary, all right? Now, if you're able to follow those deadlines, okay, that will get you another 10% of your grade. And this is just for timely submission. Because some of the assignments will not be graded. Some of the assignments will only be reviewed, and you will only get timely submission for those assignments. And that'll be 10%. Now, the next 5% of your grade is going to be given for active participation. So basically, if you come to the Zoom conference and if you do something, not just sit there, you know, like watching and feeling happy. If you do something, if you provide certain feedback, if you actively try to do the tasks, you'll get another 5% of your grade. And the easiest 5% will come from the physical, well, not physical, but from the, if I may say, remote attendance of the class. Now, those are the grades, and this is a very brief overview of what we're going to do. Now, if you scroll down, you will see the details. Scroll down, you will see the details on every task, okay? So details on the research essay and the grading criteria, okay? The details on the research presentation, the description of what exactly you're going to do. Okay, kudos for Karam. Karam has got his sound finally. Good to know, Karam. Right, anyway, these are the research presentation rubrics, okay, which you can read. And this is the list of all the quizzes and of all the vocabulary topics that you're going to take and that we are going to cover. All right, like you can see that there are two groups. One is specifically academic vocabulary, and the second group is kind of broader quizzes. It's language skills, different language that you might want to need for your academic purposes. Yeah, and there's the description for timely submission, participation, and attendance. Now, this is this course in the nutshell. I think I'm going to give you 5 minutes to go through the syllabus and ask me any questions. So take those 5 minutes, take a look at the syllabus, and you're welcome with your questions. Oh yeah, guys, one thing, it's about plagiarism. So if you scroll to page 6, if you scroll to page 6 of the syllabus, you will see the part on plagiarism and cooperation policy. So it's important for you to know that a very strict plagiarism policy will be enforced for this course. And I'm going to understand plagiarism as borrowing more than 3 words in a row verbatim. So you have to bear that in mind, and in every piece that you write, you will have to employ either paraphrasing, okay, paraphrasing the original, or using in-text citations as per IEEE standards, which we're going to discuss as well. This is number 1. And number 2, we are going to be using anti-plagiarism tool, Turnitin. Some of you probably are familiar with that tool. And for your writing, the similarity index should not be more than 17%. Now, if your writing generates more than 17% of the similarity, now such a paper will not be graded. You will have to resubmit that, and you will receive the late submission penalty of 25%. So this is an important thing for you to know and to remember. And I got a question. So a question from Valeria Skvartsova. English course grade and PhD minimum exam are 2 different things. Yes, those are 2 different things. In the end of this course, well, you will not have an exam per se for this course, okay? Your grades will be like accumulative grades, all right? But the PhD minimum, as per the Russian legislation, is going to be held next year. I understand it will be spring or something, okay? But for your PhD minimum exam, the structure of your PhD minimum exam will be similar to what we're going to do during this semester. So for your PhD minimum, you will have to provide your research proposal, which is a piece of writing, a structured piece of writing, okay? Now the structured piece of writing for this course is going to be your five-paragraph research essay. And for your PhD minimum exam as per the Russian legislation, the second part is going to be the presentation. So you're going to present your future research, okay, in English. Now the counterpart in this course is the research presentation. So basically during this semester, I'm going to train you to get the skills to get you through the PhD minimum exam in English as per the Russian legislation. Okay, cool. Right. So please take a look at the syllabus and ask me questions.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, just the question about plagiarism.
Yeah.
For example, my paper will be published in 2-3 weeks. And could I use some words or sentences from this paper? Just it's about related to my research, for example.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, but you will have to provide in-text citation for your own publication.
Oh, sure.
Because if you don't, this will be a case of the so-called self-plagiarism.
Okay.
I know that it sounds rather weird, but you know, this is the regulation. So if you borrow verbatim from your own publication, you have to either quote your own publication or provide the in-text citation for
Okay.
your own publication.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So question from Sirajuddin. Could you please upload the syllabus to Moodle, please? The syllabus is on Moodle, actually, and the link to Moodle is in the conference chat. Yeah.
Actually, it's the
Yeah.
same question, because in the Moodle there are no any PDF files, because I also in the Moodle, but
All right.
there are nothing actually. I don't know.
I think there are 2 copies of the course. So one of them is where professor shared the files, and the other one that we have access to. So maybe the 2 have to be merged somehow.
Oh. Okay. See, this is the address of my group. Is it different from yours? It's different. Okay, what's yours? Okay, tell you what, I'll talk to Almira, and we'll try to sort this thing out. In the meanwhile, I will provide all the info through the Telegram group. How does that sound? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. All right, okay. So the link is for the bachelor course. Uh-huh.
I guess let's meet
Uh-huh,
after
okay,
this
right.
course.
Yeah, guys, I guess yeah, I see. Right, so this is the one, okay? This is the one that you have access to, right? Right, okay, so, okay. Tell you what, I will publish all the information and all the handouts and whatnot into that Moodle group today, okay? And you will get the access to those, okay? Anyway, the syllabus is in the Telegram group. So could you take a look at the syllabus once again and ask me some more of the questions? If any. I'm going to give you 5 more minutes and then we'll continue.
I have a question that
Go
is
ahead.
it possible that provide that software that we can already self-check the plagiarism, how much it will be, or it will be understanding. So we need to at least check before submission. that how much it will be plagiarized.
Yeah, absolutely. You will have, well, you'll have a chance to submit your draft to see if you match that similarity report requirement. So yeah. So it's, am I answering your question?
Is just one time, or we can check as much as you can possible? So just one time the draft, the
No, it's not one time. It's
multiple time.
yes, it's basically you can do it as many times as well. Well. Do you have any experience with Turnitin?
No, because I does not have, because I don't have idea, and it's paid. Basically, it's paid software, so that's why I don't have.
Basically,
I used the free version of some of the plagiarism software, but it only check that publication, not for the blog or email. It's not checked, just for the publication. I have some access to the free plagiarism software.
well, basically, what I'm going to do is like to set the time frame within which you will be able to upload your drafts to Turnitin. Okay, and then you will be able to delete and to upload it again as many times as you want. So this is how right. And question from Emmanuel: where can we get the reference materials listed at the end of the course online, of the course outline? So reference materials. Okay, as for the reference materials, it's kind of tricky because number 1 and number 2 in reference materials, those are only in one copy, in one hard copy, and I have those. Okay, you can buy number 1 from Amazon. That's for sure. I'm 100% sure of that. I do not, unfortunately, I don't have the e-versions of those books. Okay, but basically anything that I'm going to speak about during the course is going to be based on those sources. So I will provide you with all the information that you need to know for this course. Okay, but if you feel like you need to get some extra information from the reference materials, well, you can buy number 1 from Amazon. Okay, I'm not sure about number 2. I do have number 3 as an e-copy. I can share it with you. Okay, I do have an e-copy of number 4. I could share it with you too. And I do have number 5 and everything else. Yeah, basically I have all the sources in the e-form. I could share it with you, but for numbers 1 and 2. But as I say, basically you will not need those copies because you know, I will generate the digest the essence of those reference sources, and I will provide you with that like digested information. Okay, please ask me some more questions. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 more minutes and then we'll continue.
I have a small question.
Go ahead.
It's regarding the presentation.
Excuse me. I'm afraid I cannot see your face. Could you turn?
Yes, sorry. Give me a second.
Sure.
I hope you can see me now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a small question. It's regarding the presentation. Could you comment on this? What is exactly what you are expecting from us with this presentation at the end of the course, if I am not mistaken?
Yeah. Let's go back to the description of the task. So this is basically it. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So what I'm expecting is, number one, that your presentation is going to be based on your research essay. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to be looking for a specific structure of the presentation. So they should be the thesis statements. All right. So basically, a thesis statement is like what you're going to talk about in one sentence. Okay. You will have to explain your thesis in 3 ways. Okay. And for every explanation, you will have to provide at least one detail. And your presentation should also have a conclusion. So this is about the structure. Okay. Also, I'm going to be looking for the transitions. So you should linguistically show the end of one part of the presentation and the beginning of the other part of the presentation. So like saying, for example, this is the end. This is all I'm going to. This is all about this and that, and I'm going to move to this and that.
So like semantically connect ideas between paragraphs or between sections?
Between sections and within the sections. We're going to call those transitions, and we'll talk about that.
Fine.
Yeah, and also an important, we're going to devote time for question and answer sessions. So as a part of your grade, you will have to be able to answer questions from the audience. As I said, we're simulating the conference here, a conference. Okay, therefore, you will be asked 3 questions, and you will have to be able to answer those questions, once again, following the specific structure.
And are we supposed to follow some sort of protocol in order to answer all these questions, or they're going to be, I mean, with you, are we going to follow some specific protocol, or we are just supposed to answer these questions by our own after we give the presentation?
Well, yeah, there will be a protocol, if you will. Okay, so like your answer, there will be a certain structure to your answer. Okay. So you will have to demonstrate that you know academic conventions for answering the questions during the presentation within question and answer session. Okay, and another thing is that you will have to be able to ask questions, once again following those academic conventions. So this will be basically, this is how it is going to be. One student is going to deliver the presentation, and everybody else will have to be listening, okay, and trying to formulate at least one question and to ask that question to the presenter. Because if you take a look at the grading rubrics, you will see the last one, which is answering questions. No, I'm sorry. The last but one, asking questions. So basically, for your presentation module, you will have to present. You will have to demonstrate the ability to present. You'll have to demonstrate the ability to ask a question, and you will have to demonstrate the ability to answer the question. All 3 aspects should be done within certain conventions. Did that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
And a question from Shahista: what kind of tasks can be in timely submissions? For timely submission, yeah, let me scroll up to the calendar. For timely submission, like if you take a look at week 5, you will see tutorials, for example. Now, for me to give you the tutorial, I will need you to have your first part of your essay ready, which is the introduction. Okay? And to ensure the tutorials, I'm going to introduce timely submission for introduction. Okay? Now, for you to have the tutorial, you have to submit the introduction to the essay by the certain deadline. And this is going to be timely submission. That's example number one. Example number two is presentation. So you're going to deliver a presentation using some presentation software. Okay. Once again, to ensure that your presentation is done properly, I'm going to set you a deadline within which you will have to submit your presentation for me to be able to evaluate the visual design of your presentation, for me to be able to give you feedback. And that will also be timely submission. Okay? So stuff like that. Did that answer your question, Shahista? Okay, cool. Please ask me some more questions on the syllabus.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure, sure.
Professor,
Excuse me, yeah, go ahead.
If occasionally we have to miss some lectures, how does it affect our grades, and what can we do to substitute like for these lectures?
Well, first of all, 5% of your grade is going to come from the attendance. And second of all, if you miss the class during which a vocabulary quiz is given, you're going to get down on your vocabulary quiz grade. So basically, your vocabulary quizzes will not be for retake, and you will just lose points. But if there is like an emergency, I don't know, some family thing, come to me in advance, talk to me, and if I see that this is an emergency, if you have like a really good reason, like, I don't know, some family issues or some health troubles, we will figure something out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the reason I'm asking is that some of us signed up for ISW workshop for the next week, and it will run next Monday from 4 to 7. So like most likely, like we will have to choose what to attend, you know, and it's just 1 week, but like that's what I'm asking about. And also, how many quizzes we will have? So like missing one, how much weight does it carry in terms of the final grade?
So all in all, there will be 17 quizzes. All right. Yeah. Let me scroll down to. Yeah. Can you see it? Right. So there will be 17 quizzes, and the first quiz is going to be this Thursday. So if you miss one, there'll be 1/17 or 15% of your grade.
Got
So
it. Thank you.
It's like that.
Yeah, obviously we'll try to attend everything. It's not that I want to miss all the lectures or something. Just
right.
Thank you.
Okay. Please ask me some more questions. I'm going to give you 1 minute and we'll continue.
I have one. Well,
ahead.
it's kind of dumb, but still, they have already mentioned that all this, I mean, at least this semester is going to be everything through online format. Is your class is going to be entirely online format till December, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. And every time you will be sending us a link, or will, I mean, through the Telegram chat, or how is it going to be? I mean, just to have a small idea.
Well, first of all, I'm going to use the Telegram chat to like for quick communication to get to you quickly. And second of all, there will be all the information that we use for study will be on Moodle. Okay. And I plan to record every Zoom meeting and put the link to the recording on Moodle. So hopefully everything and anything that we do in class will be on Moodle. So even if you miss the class, the idea is for you to go to Moodle and to know what's going on from Moodle.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Mhm. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Right. Question from Shahista. The quiz will be conducted in Moodle as well. The quiz will be conducted through Google Forms. I will send the link through. We'll send the link through Moodle, but it will be Google Forms. Okay. Cool. Ask me some other questions. Okay. That'll be all for the syllabus. Let us just take a look at what you're going to have at your candidate exam, candidate minimum exam, as per the Russian regulations. Okay, shall we? I'm going to send you the procedure to the Telegram group. I'm afraid it's mostly in Russian, but I'm going to explain it to you now. Yeah, let me share the screen with you again. Can you guys see my screen? If you can, please write a yes into the chat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if you take a look, just a second. Right. So this is like the list of what you have to know and be able to do to be able to pass the exam. Like number one is plagiarism and the ways of dealing with plagiarism. The next one is a structure for your research proposal. Number three is IEEE referencing style. So you should know and be able to use the conventions of IEEE. Number four is basically basic grammar that you will need to use for your research proposal. Number five is probably the most difficult one, is academic style. So you will have to provide readable, easily readable, and coherent text and logical text. And number six is on the presentation, a research presentation. And number seven, you should be able to adapt your presentation to the listeners. Now, as you can see, what we're going to do during this course is to get you ready for that exam. Now, as I have already told you, there will be two parts to your exam. The first one is the research proposal. Okay. And the second one is the research presentation. Now, as for the research proposal, your research proposal should be 2 to 3 pages, okay, with Times New Roman font 12, okay, and this is the structure of your proposal. But once again, you do not have to worry about that until the next year. So what you're going to practice during this course is writing a structured research text, okay, and presenting on the results of your text. Now, your presentation for your candidate minimum exam is going to be 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, and there will be a question and answer session as well. So basically, during your candidate minimum exam, as per the Russian regulation, you're going to use the same skills that you would practice during this semester. Please ask me questions about your candidate minimum exam as per the Russian regulations.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we reuse our presentation from the course and do the same presentation for the exam?
From this course?
Yes.
I'm afraid you will not be able to do so. The thing is that for this course, you will be presenting on your research essay, okay? But for your candidate minimum exam, you will have to take one of those aspects and expand on that. So basically, the content of the presentation would be different. So you would not be able to just transfer the presentation from this course onto the candidate minimum exam. You will have to, basically for your candidate minimum exam, you will have to speak about one aspect of your research in depth, which is going to be a bit different from what you're going to do for your research presentation in this course.
Got it. Thanks.
Any other questions on the candidate minimum exam as per the Russian regulations?
Who will evaluate our minimum candidate exam? Several professors, or?
Yeah, there will be a committee. A committee will consist of 3 people, of 3 professors. One professor is going to be an outside one, not from the Innopolis University. So basically there will be me and 2 other people, one of whom is going to be from outside of the Innopolis University.
Thank you.
Please ask me some other questions.
A similar question in
Mhm.
terms of like the written part of the exam.
Okay.
It will be again a little bit different content in terms of like the essays that we write during the class and the research proposal itself.
Yeah, it will be a bit different.
But as I can see,
Go ahead.
Thank you. The points that will be checked, they are very similar, right? In terms of
they're similar. See, I cannot really, I mean, we cannot do exactly the thing that you're going to have at your exam. We are going to do something similar for you to be able to transfer the skills from this course onto the exam. Therefore, the content should not be identical, if I may say.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Professor, I think there is a question in the chat.
Oh, thank you. Just a second. Can we have that document in English translation as well? Well, I'll see what I can do. But once again, you don't have to worry about that until spring next week. Any other questions? Oh, I think I said next week, next year. So relax. All right. So are we good with the candidate exam? I mean, I want you to have some idea as to what is going to happen next year. Okay, cool. Right. The next thing that we have to talk about is IEEE referencing guide. Let me ask you this. Are you guys familiar with IEEE referencing at all? Anybody? Okay. Right. This is what we're going to do. Why don't you, I mean, if you are familiar, if you think that you're okay with IEEE referencing, please write a yes to the chat. I got at least 5 yeses. Okay. Tell you what, is there anybody in this chat who does not have any experience with IEEE? Please write a no into the chat if you have never used IEEE. All right, so I don't have to spend time on IEEE, right? Is that what you're telling me? I understand that most of the, I mean, normal people use software. Normal people do not do IEEE referencing by hand. Okay, I just want to make sure that you know what is happening inside the software. You can do a quick review. All right. Okay, quick review. Right, I have a presentation on IEEE. I'm going to send that presentation into your Telegram chat. There you go. And let's just do a very quick review of IEEE, just in case. The reason why we're doing that is sometimes referencing. Well, first of all, IEEE is quite a sloppy organization, if I may say so. You know, because they have their referencing as very complicated. Basically, it's like very complicated and quite contradicting sometimes. Therefore, I want just to make sure that you know what is happening inside that referencing software, because you know it can glitch sometimes and generate, you know, the substandard referencing. I want you to be able to pinpoint those differences. Right, can you see my screen? If you can, write a yes, please. Okay. Right. So this is the plan. We're going to speak about in-text citations and direct quotes and reference lists. So I understand I don't have to go through the routine of explaining what is IEEE to the IT people at this stage. Anyway, in-text citations with IEEE are very, very basic as compared to APA, for example. So basically, you just use square brackets, like you can see in the examples. Okay, I would like to draw your attention to that et al. Thing, all right, which is the most popular authors according to some research. Anyway, that et al. Thing, you will use et al. For your in-text citation when there are 3 or more names in the, authoring the source. Okay, and that et al. It has to be italicized, as in the example. So these are the in-text citations. With the direct quotes, the important thing to remember is to provide page numbers. And this is how page numbers are provided, where the first number in the brackets is the number of the source in your reference list. And after that, you've got page numbers and probably some visuals. Yeah. So your reference list has to be on a separate page. Okay, and it has to be titled references or reference list. Basically, you include anything that any source that you use for your piece of writing into the reference list. I believe it is quite obvious. Only one number per reference. You use initials. You start with a first name and then you continue with the last name, and you only use initials for the first names. Might be tricky because you will not always know which is the first name and which is the last name. Well, Google. Now, another thing for the reference list is using et al. For your in-text citation. You use et al. if there are 3 authors or more. Okay, but for the reference list, you're using et al. If there are more than 6 authors. So you might want to bear that in mind. Yeah, these are some of the examples. Since most of you are familiar with that, I'm not going to dwell too much on that. I just want to pay some attention. I want you to draw some attention to source number 1. Technical Communication Quarterly. Please compare it to source number 3. You will see that that periodical journal in number 1 is not abbreviated as compared to number 3. Now, this is quite a controversial issue with IEEE. And according to the latest IEEE conventions, all the journal names, titles, they will have to be abbreviated. But this is not always followed. Now, what we're going with this course, I'm going to ask you to abbreviate all the periodicals, all the journal titles. I mean, we talked to IEEE a lot, and they said that we have to abbreviate the journal titles. So this is what we're going to do. Now, a very quick overview of how you do referencing. So basically, anything that you can open has to be italicized. So you italicize the name of the book, or you italicize the title of the journal, which if you think about it is also a book, but a thin one. Right. Please remember that this is a referencing for a hard copy. Now, if you're referring to an online source, please add the access information. So you have to write the word accessed. You have to specify the day, the month, and the year. You have to include the word online and provide the URL where this source is available from. Now, this is the example. Yeah, speaking about the journal, this is not very much different from referencing a book. I just want to draw your attention once again to the fact that you have to abbreviate the titles of the journals, because people sometimes forget to do that. And if you forget to do that at your exam, chances are that you will go down in grades. You don't really want to do that. Yeah, referencing a journal online, same procedure. Basically, referencing a source online is no different from referencing a hard copy. Just be sure to include that access information. Access, the date, the day and the year, online and available in URL. Yeah, another thing is that there is a certain way of abbreviating journal titles. Okay, there is a set of words. Okay, we're going to refer to the document which is called IEEE reference guide. I will send this document to the Moodle and to the group. Now, this is like the screenshot from the document. So this is what you're going to do once you have your journal title. You have to take a look at all the words from the title and see if there is a standard abbreviation for that word in that useful abbreviation list. Okay? If there is a standard abbreviation, then you abbreviate. Your next step will be to lose all the articles and all the prepositions. And this is how you abbreviate. Okay? So first of all, you check if the word is in the list, in the abbreviation list. If it's in the list, you abbreviate. If it's not, you just leave it untouched. Second, you lose all the articles. And third, you lose all the prepositions. Like if we go back, and if you take a look at this, you will see that there are standard abbreviations for those words. Therefore, the journal title has been abbreviated. Any questions on abbreviating the title?
Where do we get the full list for common abbreviations?
Well, since I used the wrong Moodle group, it's in the wrong Moodle group. But after this class, I will send this IEEE reference guide to the Telegram group and to the correct Moodle group. So you will get it. You can Google. Actually, if you type in IEEE reference guide, it will send you to IEEE Author Center, and there's that PDF document. So
Okay.
you will have three ways of getting the document, at least.
Okay, thank you.
And the last one, referencing conference proceedings. Yeah, let me show you the example too. Once again, the conference proceedings are tricky with the abbreviations. Thing is that for conference proceedings, there is a different abbreviation list. So when you refer to the conference proceedings, you will have to take a look at a different abbreviation list. The good news is that the standard abbreviation list for the conference proceedings is much shorter as compared to the standard abbreviation list for the journals. So it's easier that way. Right. Referencing online is following the same procedure. Please don't forget to specify the access information, month, year, and the word online, and the URL where the source is available from. Yeah, this is the link to the IEEE reference guide. As I said, I will put it up on Moodle and into the Telegram group. Now, I've only talked about 3 sources: a book, a journal, and a conference, okay? But the guide contains much more information on like various types of sources, like a repository or database or anything. So this is your primary source of information, okay? So you're going to have to use that for your referencing. Yeah, this is the end of the presentation. This presentation is in your Telegram group. It's in PDF. And I think I got a question from Sirojudin.
Yes, yes.
When citing websites, sometimes it is a bit difficult to find the authors or sometimes even organization. What to do in these situations? Basically, you just provide the URL as per the IEEE reference guide. So you just go to the IEEE reference guide, and there is a special procedure for that too.
And sorry, when you are, yes, should I, okay. And when you are, let's say, mentioning these, let's say, references in the text, in the body of the paper, how should you refer to it? By its, let's say, website name? Because as we don't have authors, right? For example, if you are following the way that we refer to the papers by the authors.
Well, basically, well, strictly speaking, you're not supposed to be referring to something that does not have a name, because you know you're making a research, and if there is the information with no name, chances are that this source of information is not credible enough. That's number one. But if you need to refer to that as an example, if you're not using that source to prove your point, but if you're like using it to showcase some, I don't know, some usage or of something on the web page. Well, if that is the case, you can use, and I believe the question was how to do the in-text citation if there is no name.
Yes, yes,
right.
And we are following the, let's say, style that we refer to the papers by the authors, like ETL, something like that.
See, thing is that for your reference list, that in your reference list, you number the sources in the order of appearance. Okay, so you assign numbers to the source in the order that you use that source in your text. Okay, so you just write a number in square brackets and use those numbers in square brackets for your in-text citation.
Okay,
am I right?
That.
Was I able to explain?
Yes, I think, yeah, we can do that without yeah.
Yeah, see, IEEE is quite handy in this aspect as compared to other reference styles. So you just, for your in-text citation, you only have to have square brackets and the number, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Right, please ask me some other questions on referencing, if any.
Yes, I have one question.
Go ahead. Could you turn on your camera,
yes,
please?
yes, it's there.
Right. Go ahead.
I have a question. It's regarding, it's the same thing. I mean, if let's say we want to pinpoint or just to make a concrete reference to some videos, for example, YouTube videos to be more precise, is there any specific convention or way exactly, I mean, regarding exactly the links where we should exactly put the specific the names of the or details of the video, or regarding the videos, is there any protocol or something?
Yeah, there is a protocol. See, thing is that the number of different of various sources is, I mean, you could use quite a lot of different sources, and in the presentation there were only the most frequently used ones. If you need the video, go to the, yeah, let me send you the link, okay?
Fine.
Not the link. Let me send you the document, okay? I think it'll be better than just a link. Right, the IEEE reference guide is in your Telegram group. Now, if you open it, and if you go to page 11, let me go to page 11 and show you the screen. Can you guys see my screen? Right, so in page 11, there is a chapter, well, a section, online video, okay?
Yeah.
And this is the format for referring to the online video. Basically, nobody, I mean, people do not have to remember all those IEEE referencing conventions, all right? What people do is just to, if they have a special source, they just go to the guide and see how you're supposed to be referring to the source.
And is there any similar format for software?
Well,
for any kind of software we may be using, for example.
Overlive, I understand you will be using Overlive, and Overlive has got some functions to do referencing.
Okay.
So the reason why we talk about our IEEE is for you to understand the idea behind the referencing, so that you will be able to verify the software generated referencing. Okay, there is that latex thing, or latex. Okay, but once again, even latex or latex, whatever they call it, even those can generate, well, not always, so they do not always generate a good referencing. For example, latex may have issues with understanding which is the first name, which is the last name, as I have already mentioned. I mean, even a living person might have that trouble. So it's like that. Did that answer your question?
Yep. Thank you very much.
Valeria Skvarsov is asking, what do you think about latex? Can we use this instrument for simple citation in IEEE format? Absolutely, yes. As I have already told you, sane people do not do referencing by hand. Okay, sane people do referencing using latex or Overlive function, etc. The reason why I'm talking about IEEE referencing conventions is for you to be able to verify what you have from what you get from latex. So you need to be able to check the latex output. Okay, So use latex, that's okay, but check what you have against the IEEE reference guide. Valia, did that answer your question? Okay, cool. So please ask me some other questions on IEEE, if any. All right, I understand everybody is clear about IEEE. Okay. Now that is done, and let me speak about your home task now. Right, first of all, this Thursday is going to be your first quiz, your first vocabulary quiz. You will have to study your vocabulary independently on your own. So for this, I'm sending a glossary, academic vocabulary glossary 1 into the Telegram group. And I'm sending academic vocabulary 1 exercises into the Telegram group. Now, this is your home assignment. Let me explain it to you now. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, cool. Now, this is the glossary. This is glossary 1. You should be able to know the meaning of those phrases in bold. So there are 35 phrases. I believe that most of those phrases are, or at least should be, familiar for you. Now, you should know the definitions of those phrases. You should be able to do that by Thursday this week. Okay, so basically you should learn the words and the phrases from this glossary, unless you, if you don't know those words or phrases already. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you have to do the exercises, which will give you practice for the vocabulary. That's for the vocabulary that you're learning. So there are 2 pages to the exercise. Okay, this is a copy from Academic Vocabulary Use. Okay, so there are 2 pages. The first page is just examples of the words and phrases from your glossary, and in page 2 there are exercises. Now, for practice purposes, you will have to do all those exercises. Okay, you'll have to do them and send them to me by Thursday, by Thursday 9 a.m., by the beginning of the next class, which is going to be 9 a.m. Thursday. Okay, now those exercises are going to be timely submission. Okay, so you have to do the exercises and send them to me via Telegram group. And those are timely submission. Now, this is your home assignment for Thursday. Please learn glossary 1, do exercise 1, send the exercise 1 to me via Telegram group, and you will take a quiz, a 10-minute quiz in the beginning of the class this Thursday. And this quiz will be on glossary 1. Do you understand your home task for this Thursday? Please ask me questions. There is a question. Just a second. In which format should we send the exercise? It's totally up to you. You can either write the answers in the PDF file, Or if you're not comfortable with that, you can print the PDF, write the answers manually, take a picture of that and send it back to me. Anastasia, did that answer your question? Okay, cool. Please ask me some other questions on, yeah, could you please write down the exercise and the pages we need to do? Well, bad news for you, you will have to do all the exercises that you can find in the file. There are 4. Okay, cool. So any other questions on the home task? Sorry, do we need to send the test direct to you or on the group? Whichever you find comfortable. You can send it directly to me through an email, through the Telegram group, or through the Telegram personal message. Just be sure to send it. Okay, cool. All right. Now, that was your home task for Thursday. Question from Anastasia, maybe it's better to create assignment in Moodle for this submission. Probably I will take a look at that. But it's like the beginning of this semester, bear with me. Okay, now, so that was home assignment number 1. Home assignment number 2, they'll be for the next Monday. And I want you to make a list of 5 sources on your research, any 5 sources on your research topic following IEEE referencing style. So for this Thursday, you only do vocabulary. For the next Monday, which is going to be the 24th of August. Now for the next Monday, you will have to make a list of 5 IEEE sources and send those to me. Do you understand your Monday task? Once again, you can send your task to me through the Telegram group or through an email. And I will definitely take a look at the Moodle submission.
Sorry, the 5 sources have to be on our thesis topic, right? Preferably,
but not necessarily. Because the reason why I'm giving you this task is to make sure that you can follow IEEE conventions.
And they have to be different types of sources, right? Book, conference, and
Preferably, yes.
Thank you.
Please ask me some more questions on your Monday home assignment. Okay, ask me any other questions. We have 3 minutes before the end of the class.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Could you turn on your camera, please?
Sure. Sorry. Yeah, the question about Monday's task. I missed something, but it should be 5 different sources or 5 different papers, for example. What does it mean? Yeah.
Do you understand a source? Well, a source can be a video,
I see. Okay.
I don't know, a database, anything. Just make sure that you're referring to your source following IEEE style.
Okay. Thank you.
It doesn't have to be a paper.
Okay.
2 minutes before the end. Any other questions? Okay, if you don't have any other questions, I believe that will be all for today. Thank you.
Just one last question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
When, I mean, let's say that something comes up, where or yes, do you have any time we can actually text you in order to ask for some help if anything comes up, for example?
Totally. Please write to the Telegram group. And
To the Telegram group.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll be happy to answer any questions through the Telegram group.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay, then that will be all for today. Thank you so much, and we'll see you Thursday. Goodbye. This is the end of the class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.